Hi, I'm Burke MacDonald with Schaumburg Heartbeat, and we're out at the Spring Valley Nature Center. What a gorgeous day, and we're with Mary Rice. She's the director of the programs for the Nature Center over here. Mary, this has been quite a summer, hasn't it?
It's been a fantastic summer. Up until now, it hasn't been too hot. We've had clear nights to be able to look at the stars, and we've had rain pretty much when we've needed it. It's been great.
We're right outside the Interpretation Center, and when you stand inside that Interpretation Center and look out here, it is gorgeous. And some of those, those are the compass flowers, you say, right?
Yeah, the ones behind us and the tall ones you might be able to see in the camera are compass plant.
They look like they go right to the sky, and they're going to touch the stars.
Well, one more thing. For as tall as they are, the roots go twice as deep into the ground.
Oh, my gosh. So they're looking for all that water.
They sure are. They're biennials, so next year these particular plants will just have leaves out, and then the year after they'll have flowers again.
Oh, you're kidding. So some flowers don't flower every year.
No, that's right. And these are in the sunflower family, so some of them are in flower actually today. They're just your typical yellow composite flower, very much like a dandelion or like any sunflower.
Okay. Well, do they make good wine like dandelions?
That I don't know.
That you
I
don't
know dandelions do, but I'm not sure about compass.
Well, even though we're out here in the bright daylight and the bright sunshine, we're here to talk about the stargazing programs that are offered at the Park District. I know you have one a year. It's coming up. By the time this airs, it may be gone. But what are the types of things that you do at that program?
What we really want to do is offer programs for families that are free. The one disadvantage to a star program is it has to be late at night. Right. And usually the families that come out have younger children, so that's a little bit difficult, and sometimes the families arrive very early, but you can't see the stars when it's still light out there. The other interesting thing, of course, and the other challenge, just like today with the clouds that we have, is the last couple of years, the night that we've had the star party have been very cloudy. And people expect to be able to see through the telescopes as if the clouds are going to scopes are going to penetrate the clouds, and they don't.
Can't we tell the board, the park board, that they got to get the weather straight for these nights?
I really wish they would, because the very first year we did this, it was a perfect night. The parking lot was just filled with cars. We never thought they'd be filled to overflowing. People saw 10 to 15 meteors that night.
Oh my God.
And the thing is that meteors really predominate between midnight and dawn. And of course this event is before midnight for obvious reasons, but people left here with smiles on their faces because they not only got to see planets through the telescopes, but they got to see a lot of meteors. Well, then the last couple of years we've had clouds, and so people have been inside the Nature Center, which is the area where I sort of, what do I want to say, predominate or can't think of the word right now, but I run the inside part while everybody's out here having the fun stuff outside. So we have a couple crafts inside. This year we're thinking of having a campfire. I've struggled with that through the years, thinking it's going to destroy people's night vision, but why not? You know, so we're going to have marshmallows roasting, couple crafts inside. We'll have 3 telescopes out here. We'll have volunteers as well as staff. And if it is a cloudy night, we'll have iPads out here. And last year we borrowed them from the school district, so I considered them a partner with us in this event. And they loaded a program called Star Chart.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it?
Well, I have an Android phone myself, and I have a thing called, I think it's Skywatch or something. Okay. It's amazing. You point it up toward the stars, and you can see what's up there. Like we were at a concert over at the Municipal Center last Saturday night, and I said, what is that up there? And it was Saturn.
Yeah, isn't that great? And I've got one on my phone too. I put Star Chart on that as well. And of course, if you want to be able to know what meteors are coming down at a different time during the year, you have to pay a little bit extra for it. But for the most part, it works with, as a free app. And even now, if we were out being outside, if we had our phones, we could see what stars are up there, even though in the daytime we don't see them.
Right. And the other nice part about it, there's a lot of constellations there that people don't think about. We've heard of Aquarius, and there's the Sagittarius, aren't there? Those star constellations that they're out there, and if you point that up there, it'll show you where those constellations are.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the exciting things during the summer is you have 3 major constellations up here, and there's a bright star in each one of them that makes a picture in itself, a great big summer triangle. And that's one of the big things astronomers and beginners like myself always look for. And it starts in late spring and goes all the way to early fall, that you can see this summer triangle just move across the sky.
You know, I think that's something that we ought to emphasize. You say families are coming out here, and they're all ages. I'm sure from little tots up to high school kids probably with the family. But you don't have to be an expert. You can start just by coming out and doing things with like the iPad or your phone, and start to get a basic knowledge.
We've actually had people come and bring their own telescopes, which is perfectly fine with us as well. One of the fellows who's bringing a telescope this year was somebody who was here last year, and he said he had a telescope, he'd like to join us, so he's going to be one of our experts. None of us is an expert. Yeah. All of us are amateurs, and that's what makes it fun. We're out here looking for things that are just up there wondering, what are they? Let's find out.
Now, I'm assuming, because Schaumburg is probably pretty tough at any time because there's so much ambient light from Woodfield, and not Woodfield we need, and from the homes, from the street lamps and so on. But I'm assuming coming out here, you're in a little bit, so you're away from some of that ambient light, and it should make it a little bit easier to look up, right?
Exactly. Almost any area that's open would be a good place to be able to see stars, as long as it's not going to have a lot of trees getting in your way, or obviously the street lights like you're talking about. And what's unfortunate living in the Chicago area is you really don't have to be near a street light to have it affect the sky. It's just the combination or the accumulation of all the light that's around us, the light pollution. I remember as a child growing up along the Fox River in the summers, I could never have identified a constellation because there were just too many stars, and you couldn't pick out one brighter than another. They were just amazing. Nowadays, it's almost hard to find the brightest constellations up there, but we can do it.
Which is sad, but that's life, and we progress goes on. And there's besides the nature center here, there are some bigger parks in Schaumburg that, if you can get in the middle of some of those, maybe you'd be able to see some things also, right? Now, this might be an obvious question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And if you want to laugh at me, go ahead. That's okay. But is there a good time of the year, or is there is there a better time of the year to look at stars than others?
Unfortunately, it's winter. In winter, I don't know whether it's something about our distance from the sun, our location in the revolution around the sun, or whatever. The constellations seem to be brighter. The sky seems to almost be darker. There's maybe fewer constellations out there, but it's the winter sky that is the one people tell you to get started with. Fall is the absolute worst, at least for me. There are so many constellations up there. It's almost like the summer I referred to before. They're not terribly bright, but there's just a lot of stars, and trying to pick out which ones make a constellation, it's difficult. Except the fun there is, let people pick out their own stars and make up their own constellation.
Well, and like you say, you get into this time of the year and probably early into the fall, there's some of the meteorites out there that they can see. We used to call them shooting stars.
Exactly, and what I found out a couple of years ago in getting ready for this program and trying to come up with kids' activities and family activities is the difference between those words. Meteor is simply that flash of light we see, that shooting star that's coming down. A meteoroid is what's really out in space. A meteoroid is just a piece of rock up there, basically from the comet Swift-Tuttle. Swift-Tuttle was first seen by two men, Swift and Tuttle, back in 1862. And as comets go around the sun, they leave a trail of debris behind. And at this time of the year, and at several times during the year, the Earth goes through that comet trail. And that debris gets trapped by the gravity of the Earth and comes falling down. So when the debris is out there, it's called a meteoroid. When it's coming down and you see that flash of light, it's a meteor. And when it hits the Earth, if it hasn't burned up, it's a meteorite. And it was like, oh, okay, now I've learned something at my age. I mean, it was really kind of fun. And there are several times during the year when we do pass through other debris. But the most famous one is the Perseids, which is in August. And we used to call this star party the Perseid Meteor Party, but you can't guarantee people are going to see meteors, so therefore we changed it to stargazing. But our real goal is to be out here at night as late as we can to see those meteors.
Now, I know that, again, this is an obvious question, and it's one that's unanswerable, but probably what we need to do is just encourage people, because like you said, the night of the party, you can't predict the weather. During the course of the month, it's hard to predict what's the best day. Is it put in your mind that when there's a clear night, get out in your backyard or get out in the park and go up there and look?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, you know. I was taking an astronomy course online a couple years ago, and that's all they wanted us to do was get outside and look. And one of the big things that they focused on was the phases of the moon. Okay, I've seen the moon all my life, go through these phases. What else is there to learn? But there was a lot. Just to go out and watch things change. You know, we're so used to just looking at the beauty out here, but to be here all summer and to see it grow from nothing when we burn the prairie to what it is now and what it will be throughout the rest of the summer. Same thing with the sky. Things change. They don't stay the same. And of course, the sky isn't moving, and that's an important concept we want the kids to eventually get. It's us. It's the earth that's moving, even though we don't feel it. Everything out there is pretty much staying put.
Yeah, we're going around pretty fast. We don't even know.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
So probably when you're looking up, and the big ones that you see, one is obviously Saturn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is Jupiter usually up there? Where you can
Yeah,
see?
you're going to see Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, and they'll all be visible this August. And they are every August. It's just a matter of are they going to be obliterated? Is it going to be difficult because of the moon being out or whatever? I always check to see when I schedule this program to see where the moon is. It's important to have this night before the peak of the meteors. The meteors are out there pretty much between the middle of July and the middle of August every year. That doesn't change. It's just that towards the 6th to the 12th of August, 12th, 13th, somewhere around there is when they absolutely peak, or they predict they're going to peak. Then after that date, it just drops off radically. So right now, people could be outside and looking at them at night and see them.
Okay, generally speaking, besides just that night that we have the event, what are the hours here if people want to come over and walk the paths maybe in the evening and look up and do a little bit of looking at the stars?
We actually close the gates at 9 o'clock.
Okay, so people can come in like at 7 to 8, and is it sun starting to go down?
Not quite that early. Last week we had our Firefly Fandango, and you have to be here at just a certain time to see those fireflies come out. So about 8:45, it was beginning to get dark. And of course, as we get later in the summer, it's going to get earlier, of
As
course.
we get closer to the school year, it's amazing how
Quickly it happens.
how quickly and how dark it is, how soon.
It really is.
Well, I want to thank you, and we really appreciate the Park District in doing this. I think this is a great program for families and children and adults, and thank you for putting the extra time to put it together, and we hope people will come out to your Park District and look up at the sky once in a while and see what's up there.
Me too.
I'm Burke MacDonald with Schaumburg Heartbeat. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, take time for fun.
This is Toni Higgins-Thrash, reporter for cable station WSPD, The Heartbeat Show. I have a very exciting segment today. I'm at iFLY in Rosemont, Illinois. It's indoor skydiving, and so come on in. I'm here with Tanya Soto, General Manager of iFLY in Rosemont, Illinois. So I'm so excited to be here. And can you tell us how many iFLYs are predicted in the United States right now?
Right now we have 24, and we are building right now 3 to 4 more right now.
And how many in Illinois?
There are 3, one here in Rosemont, one in Naperville, and one in Lincoln Park.
So how old do you have to be to do indoor skydiving?
We start at 3 years old up to 103.
103.
103.
What is the criterion? Do you have to be in good health to do this?
Yes, you do need to be in good shape and good health. No neck or back problems, no shoulder problems like previous dislocated shoulders, and overall good health.
Not pregnant, of course.
Not pregnant,
Not pregnant.
exactly.
no dislocations. How about heart?
Heart, as long as you're cleared by a doctor, if you do have heart problems, you do want to check with your doctor. Make sure that it's okay.
Probably it's pretty safe if you're in the mature community
Oh, absolutely.
to actually check with your doctor. But I'm telling you, the seniors nowadays are so healthy. They're taking
Absolutely.
absolutely good care of themselves, and they do more. I think in my mom's age, when she was older, they didn't have quite the opportunities that seniors have nowadays.
I agree. Seniors are much more active now. They're walking, they're swimming, there's
Roller
roller
coasters.
coasters, there's so many adventures, especially here in Chicago.
And this is a great thing to bring the grandkids, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely. It's a wonderful family outing.
And then with winter coming,
Yes.
you get cabin fever. You're looking for something for the children to do, and this is really exciting. Do you get a lot of birthday parties coming?
A lot of birthday parties. We have a party room, birthday party room. We also do corporate events. We have a corporate office upstairs on the 3rd floor, so we're a 3-floor tunnel. And we do full buyouts of the whole facility for companies. And during winter time, there's an ice skating rink out here in Rosemont.
I suspect out there with our viewers, a lot of people have on their bucket list to jump out of an airplane. But just that thought is really scary. So this is kind of an in-between thing, wouldn't you say?
It is second best to the real skydiving. Absolutely.
Does it kind of simulate the same experience?
It really does. It really has, because I have done it, the piggyback skydiving. So getting into the tunnel, it's the same exact feeling as that free fall feeling.
So how many seniors do you think take advantage of the skydiving during the week?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. But many do.
Have you ever had a senior group coming? I think there was Friendship Village. I'm not too sure.
Yes, there have been. Absolutely.
Group that comes together, probably check their health, make sure it's okay.
Yes.
But I'm so excited to see what the wind tunnel is going to look like, and I understand I'm going to interview the flight instructor, and we're actually going to listen to the briefing that they go through. I think it's about 15 minutes, and then we're going to learn how to suit up and go in the tunnel and fly.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for this interview. And
Thank you so much.
We'll be talking to Sam.
Sam.
How are we doing today?
Good.
Good? We're excited to fly?
Yeah.
Awesome. Has anybody ever flown before? All first-time flyers?
Yeah.
Okay, me too. Cool. Sam, I'm going to be your flight instructor today. Got this quick video for you to watch. I'll come back in afterwards and we'll go over everything.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'll be your guide today, providing you with flight training to ensure that your experience here is safe and fun. I've logged over 5,000 hours of flying in the wind tunnel, so don't worry, you're in good hands. Before we begin, please let your instructor know if you have any current or previous neck or back injuries or shoulder dislocations. We need your help in providing us with the best information possible to ensure your safety. So, first things first, the classroom. The key to good flying is body position. When you enter the tunnel for the first time, it's important to get into this position as soon as possible. Yoko is here to help out by demonstrating. There are 3 fundamentals to a good body position. First, you want to keep your chin up. Next, your arms at eye level with your elbows bent. Third, you want to try to hold still and relax. Doing so will help you keep a stable and balanced flying position. The first signal is chin up. Doing this will keep your body balanced and makes it easier for you to see your instructor's signal. The next 2 signals are to straighten your legs and bend your legs. If you get either of these signals, I need you to adjust them slowly and smoothly till I give you a thumbs up. Finally, this signal means I need you to relax your muscles while maintaining a still body position.
After he does it.
When the doors open to the flight chamber, please walk inside and take the next seat available all the way down along the bench. Please leave enough room for the person seated next to you. After the current flyer exits the flight chamber, go to the wind tunnel door and wait for your instructor to give you the go signal. you enter the wind tunnel, open your arms wide, look up, and lean into the wind, immediately opening up into your skydiving body position. Your instructor will make adjustments as needed to your position. Remember, chin up, arms out, legs apart and slightly bent. Flashing lights will signal that your flight time is almost up. Your instructor will start preparing you to exit the wind tunnel. Once at the door, grab the outer edges and bend your knees. Stand up and step out of the chamber. iFLY is not an amusement ride. It's the real thing. And you don't need to jump from 12,000 feet to experience skydiving. In fact, you'll be flying in the same wind tunnel that professional skydivers from all around the globe use to practice their skills. You will never again have to wonder what it feels like to fly, because you are about to find out firsthand. From all of us, thank you for visiting iFLY and have a great flight.
Just think about keeping like an X. That's your body position. Sound good? Cool. All right. Ready to go get geared up? Yep. All right, cool.
I found a family that has experienced indoor skydiving, and I'm here with Chris Avery, right?
Yep.
And can you introduce your family to me?
Yeah, this is Rob, my son-in-law. This is Charlie, my grandson. And this is Ted, my future son-in-law.
What do you think of this?
It was great. It was a great experience. Loved it.
How about you?
It was good fun. Good fun.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
And how about you?
Yeah, I had a great time.
Would you do it again?
Absolutely, yes.
And I know you're Charlie and you're 3 years old. So where do you live?
England.
England. And you?
England.
And you?
Same, yeah.
And
I live in Chicago.
in Chicago. So you're here for a visit.
Yeah, they're visiting us. Yeah.
Great. So remember how I promised you that seniors can do this, and I found one. So how's that? Well, I'm here with Sam Brown, flight instructor. I don't know about you, I'm exhausted just watching that. And I feel like I've been in the wind tunnel. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got involved with iFLY, and I'm very interested if you've done parachute skydiving as an instructor.
Yeah, I've been skydiving for about a few years. I have 260 jumps or so.
260?
Yeah, definitely. Not nearly that much compared to some people that have been jumping as long as me, but I enjoy it a lot. It's my hobby, so it's a lot of fun.
Do you do it in groups, where everybody holds hands, that kind of, or do you do solo jumps?
Yeah, we'll do formation stuff. I'll do solo jumps, but we'll do big group stuff, small group stuff. So there's a lot of different disciplines to get into when you get into skydiving, and yeah, so it's more fun when you got friends, right?
Do you do competitively?
I did join a team, like a rookie team last year, and just for fun, competitively, nothing like major competitive, but we do have competition teams that come into the tunnel to practice, and that's how I got started, by coming to the tunnel to practice, and then just heard about an opening from there and figured it was for me.
Are there competitions that are indoor skydiving competitions?
Yes.
Here?
Yep, there are. So there's the International Body Flight Association has competitions. We actually had one here in Rosemont back in April, and then there's going to be one actually in another week down in Woodlands in Houston, Texas.
Wow, I'm so excited about that. So did you do skydiving also in high school and college, or did you start this late in life?
No, I made a tandem skydive about like right after high school, like a decade ago. Took me a few more years to get into it, and then about 3 years ago is when I really started getting into real skydiving.
So from 1 to 10, is this your favorite job, and what would you scale it at?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely gonna be my favorite. Done a few different things over the years, and definitely glad I made the change, just a few months ago to work here at iFLY. So.
How long was your training here till they let you with the clientele?
So there's a training program that typically changes from a few weeks or so. Mine was about a month long. They sent me down to Austin, Texas, and I trained there for about a month, and sent me back and started taking classes right away.
Well, it's good to know you had training more than one day.
Yeah.
If I were to go in there, a month, that's good.
Yeah, it's a
An
very
experience.
physically exhausting, but a lot of fun. You learn a lot. So long nights, late at night, and but they make sure that we're ready, to take people and show them a fun time.
Well, I'm kind of hooked on trying this, but I have to check it out with my doctor, like I said early on. And if I come back, I definitely want you to be my flight instructor, because I know you've had, how many jumps again?
260 or so.
260. Yeah. I would be very confident with you. Is there anything, you've seen my interview so far, is there anything that I didn't cover, or anything you want to say to our viewers out there?
Well, it's definitely a lot of fun. A lot of people have this on their bucket list, things to check off kind of thing. So I definitely recommend trying it at least once. Even if you know that you don't want to do the real skydiving, this would be the next good step to it. So.
Well, nice meeting you. Thanks for this interview, and thanks to our viewers. And I can't wait to see what the next segment will be. I don't know, parachuting? Maybe. Bye.